Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. It's a line that helped build a multi-billion-dollar cinematic empire. But on a humid Tuesday in the cramped concrete back hallway of a shopping mall in Sydney, that power looks a lot like a $60 million actor struggling into a 30-pound leather vest, while three assistants frantically glue synthetic blonde hair to his temples. This is where the polished artifice of the Marvel Cinematic Universe crashes headfirst into a messy, unpredictable reality. We watch the viral clips of Chris Hemsworth stepping out from behind a curtain to a sea of screaming fans, and we convince ourselves we are witnessing a miracle of timing. The truth is far more precarious. It is a high-stakes gamble where a single leaked cell phone photo from a distracted janitor could derail a global marketing campaign. You see the godlike smile on the screen. You don't see the security detail with earpieces vibrating, sweating through their suits, because a 6'3" Australian asset is currently hiding in a freight elevator, smelling of industrial floor cleaner and old trash. Life is inherently chaotic. We spend our existence trying to organize it into neat, 20-second social media clips of pure joy. But these surprise appearances are the ultimate absurdist paradox. We are quite literally manufacturing spontaneity. We are scripting the unscriptable. Look at the way Hemsworth adjusts the weight of Mjolnir before the doors open. The hammer is made of dense foam and resin, yet he must carry it with the feigned effort of a man lifting a neutron star because the illusion is more important than the physical fact. If he drops it and it bounces like a tennis ball, the spell is broken. This isn't just about a celebrity meeting his public. It's about the desperate human need to believe that the icons we see on 40-foot screens can manifest in our world without the scaffolding falling over. Subscribe to prepare your mind for what's coming next year, because the industry is rapidly shifting toward these hyper-real stunts as traditional trailers lose their grip on our collective dopamine receptors. Now, look closer at the footage from the 2017 Twitter Q&A surprise. The lighting is harsh, the carpet is worn. Hemsworth is crouched behind a thin plywood partition, listening to a moderator drone on about character arcs to a group of unsuspecting teenagers. His heart rate is elevated. Why? Because the distance between a life-changing viral moment and a cringeworthy PR disaster is exactly 1 inch of wood. If he stumbles, if the wig slips, or if the audience reacts with awkward silence instead of choreographed screams, the narrative collapses into a heap of expensive leather. We pretend these moments are gifts from the elite to the common. In reality, they are carefully orchestrated atmospheric pressures designed to explode at the exact millisecond the camera pans left. The chaos is always there, lurking behind the red cape, waiting for the one variable that no billion-dollar studio can truly control: the raw, unpolished reaction of a human being who wasn't told how to feel. The Polish you see on your screen is a lie carefully maintained by a small army of people holding rolls of black gaffer tape and industrial-strength hairspray. Take the 2013 San Diego Comic-Con. The lights in Hall H go dark. 6,000 people hold their breath. Suddenly, the speakers blow out with the sound of thunder, and Tom Hiddleston walks out in full Loki regalia. The crowd loses its collective mind. It looks like a divine intervention of cinema. But if you look at the raw logistics of that morning, the divinity vanishes. Behind the heavy black curtains, Hiddleston is fighting a losing battle with his own wardrobe. The leather suit is designed for the air-conditioned vacuum of a film set, not a cavernous hall packed with thousands of perspiring humans. He is literally sweating through his layers. A makeup artist is hovering inches from his face until the very last second, dabbing at his forehead with a sponge, because if a single bead of sweat breaks through the pale, villainous foundation, the god looks like a tired actor in a hot suit. The transition from man to myth is held together by chemicals and desperation. You sit there, staring at your glowing rectangle, thinking you've witnessed a miracle of timing. Question the premise. You are witnessing a high-stakes industrial operation where the primary product is your own disorientation. Look at the physical debris left in the wake of these stunts. When a surprise happens, the cameras aren't just capturing joy, they are framing out the chaos. Step 3 feet to the left of the lens, and you'll see the panicked publicists. They aren't smiling. They are staring at their watches, their knuckles white as they grip clipboards. They know that if the microphone in the actor's hand cuts out for even 3 seconds, the momentum dies.
I think the waltz is very sexy. I'll leave it there.
This guy's like a Loki, I think. He's got the strain of mischief in him.
X on the floor will cast a shadow over his face, turning a heroic reveal into a muddy, unrecognizable mess. This is the backstage disaster that never makes the edit. It's a world of frayed wires, whispered go signals over encrypted radios, and the smell of ozone from overworked stage lights. The industry relies on your refusal to see the scaffolding. They need you to believe that Chris Evans just happened to be in the neighborhood with a shield. The reality is a fleet of black SUVs idling in a loading dock, 3 security perimeters, and a legal team that has spent 6 weeks vetting every square inch of the room to ensure no one gets hit by a flying prop. You there, scrolling through these clips at 2 in the morning, do you really think the shock on the fans' faces is entirely organic? The truth is a far more cynical mechanism. Before the stars arrive, warm-up hosts spend hours conditioning the audience. They tell them when to cheer. They tell them how to react. They turn a group of individuals into a singular, reactive organism. By the time the celebrity surprises them, the audience is in a state of hypersuggestibility. They aren't just reacting to the actor. They are reacting to the release of hours of built-up tension. It's a psychological pressure cooker. The actors themselves are often just as stressed. Imagine being Ryan Reynolds, shoved into a cramped, dark space for 45 minutes, waiting for a specific line of dialogue to be spoken on stage. You are wearing a suit that costs more than a mid-sized sedan. You can't sit down because the fabric will crease. You can't drink water because you'd have to dismantle the entire costume to use the restroom. You are a highly paid captive of your own brand. When the moment finally hits, it's a blur of flashbulbs and screams. Security guards are positioned at every aisle, not just to protect the star, but to ensure that no fan gets too excited and ruins the shot. If a fan jumps on stage, the viral moment is ruined. It becomes a safety liability. It becomes a legal headache. So, the security team operates with the cold efficiency of a Secret Service detail, invisible until the exact moment a boundary is crossed. They are the silent architects of your spontaneous joy. They choreograph the movement of the crowd through physical barriers and stern glances, ensuring the actor has a clear path to the center of the frame. The industry is terrified of the unscripted. Look at the way these clips are edited before they hit YouTube. They aren't raw, they are color graded. The audio is cleaned up in a studio to make the screams sound more harmonious and less like a chaotic wall of noise. They might even overlay a subtle soundtrack to tell your brain exactly how to feel about what you're seeing. It's a manufactured reality. We are living in an era where the behind the scenes is just as scripted as the in front of the scene. Hired to make the star look relatable. The machinery of fame has become so sophisticated that it can now simulate its own breakdown to make you feel like you're seeing something real. Now, consider the physical toll on the equipment. High-speed cameras, gimbal stabilizers, and wireless transmitters are pushed to their limits to capture these moments. A single drop in the Wi-Fi signal at a convention center can cost a studio millions in lost viral potential. This is why the technicians are the most stressed people in the room. They are the ones who have to explain to a furious executive why the surprise didn't stream in 4K. They are the ones duct taping antennas to the ceiling at 4:00 a.m. The next time you see a spontaneous celebrity encounter, look at the floor. Look for the tape marks. Look for the wires snaking under the carpet. Look for the lens flares that seem a little too perfect. The truth is hidden in the corners of the frame. The truth is that we are being sold a version of humanity that has been polished, pressurized, and packaged for maximum click-through rates. The industry has mastered the art of the fake accident. They have turned the concept of surprise into a commodity, and we are the ones paying for it with our time and our belief. Stop treating these moments as genuine human connections. They are corporate maneuvers. They are the byproduct of a system that has realized that the best way to sell a product is to pretend it isn't a product at all. The actors are the faces of this system, but they are also its tools. They are moved around a chessboard by managers, agents, and marketing directors who view viral potential as the only metric that matters. The backstage disaster isn't a failure of the system. It's the system's natural state. It's a constant, frantic effort to keep the mask from slipping. And as the technology for capturing these moments improves, the masks will only get more convincing. The industry is betting on your desire to be deceived. It's betting that you'll keep watching, keep clicking, and keep believing that the god of mischief, or the man with the shield, could walk through your door at any second, provided the lighting is right and the cameras are rolling. Keep your eyes on the shadows, because that's where the real story is being written. The truth isn't in the roar of the crowd, it's in the frantic, silent breathing of the man behind the curtain, waiting for his cue to pretend he's something more than human. The sheer mathematical insanity of trying to choreograph chaos is best observed in the pressurized vacuum of a live television control room. Imagine the smell of ionized dust and stale coffee as 40 different monitors flicker, with the raw, unedited anxiety of a production that cost $12 million to look like a mistake. Look at the 2017 Academy Awards, a moment etched into the collective memory as the ultimate unscripted disaster when La La Land was mistakenly announced as the winner over Moonlight. The public saw a human error, a bungle by a distracted accountant from PricewaterhouseCoopers who was reportedly busy tweeting a photo of Emma Stone. But look closer at the physical geography of that stage. Look at the two separate briefcases containing identical sets of envelopes positioned on opposite sides of the wings to ensure that no matter which direction a presenter approached from, the perfect delivery was guaranteed. The system was so over-engineered to prevent friction that it created a redundant loop of failure. It was a masterpiece of bureaucratic entropy. The industry tries to build a fortress against the unpredictable, yet it is exactly that fortress that traps them when the inevitable happens. You see a celebrity laughing off a wardrobe malfunction or a leaked video of a heated argument on a movie set, but you don't see the digital forensics team checking the metadata to ensure the leak happens at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for maximum engagement. You don't see the legal department reviewing the spontaneous outburst to ensure no trade secrets were mentioned. We are witnessing the death of the genuine accident. Every stumble is now a calculated pivot. This is the absurdist paradox of our modern existence. We are terrified of the very randomness that makes us human, so we hire architects to design the ruins of our spontaneity. We spend billions of dollars to build sets that look like they are falling apart just so we can feel a fleeting sense of realness in a world of plastic. It is an expensive, exhausting, and ultimately futile attempt to order the wind. The reality is that the more we try to script our flaws, the more we reveal the hollow center of our curated identities. We have become the audience and the performers in a play where the script says, "Improvise here," and we follow that direction with terrifying precision. If you are tired of the polished lies and the manufactured oops moments that dominate your feed, you need to understand that the rabbit hole goes much deeper than a simple PR stunt. You have to be willing to look past the glare of the studio lights and into the machinery that moves the puppets. Subscribe to see how deep the rabbit hole really goes and peel back the layers of this manufactured reality with me. There is a specific kind of madness in believing that a multi-billion-dollar corporation would ever leave anything to chance. They have calculated your emotional response to authenticity and turned it into a line item on a spreadsheet. They know that a blurred, handheld camera shot of a star being normal is worth 10 times more than a glossy magazine cover. They are selling you the feeling of being an insider while they lock the doors from the outside. But once you see the tape marks on the floor, you can never unsee them. You start to notice the way the surprised fan holds their phone at the perfect angle for the brand logo in the background. You start to hear the rehearsed cadence in the off-the-cuff apology. It is a long, difficult walk toward a clear-eyed view of the world, but it is the only one worth taking if you value your own mind. Subscribe to walk this path of truth with me as we dismantle the illusions one by one. The universe is a messy, violent, and beautifully uncoordinated explosion of events that don't care about your lighting cues or your social media metrics. By trying to harness that chaos for a marketing campaign, the industry has created a parody of life that is more rigid than the systems it tries to escape. We have reached a point where a real, unscripted tragedy is treated with suspicion, while a perfectly timed disaster is met with applause and shares. We are living in an era where the most artificial thing you can find is a moment of raw emotion captured on 4K video. It is the ultimate joke of the digital age. We have finally succeeded in digitizing the soul